and AFKs that may offend some people. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey guys, Arcadian here. I'm back again with another episode of Tips for Bronze. This week, roaming. So this week we're going to be looking into roaming. We're going to be looking at what roaming is, when to roam, how to roam, and some tips and tricks to help you get some more kills.
Roaming is when you leave your lane during the laning phase and move to gank another lane. Roaming is a great way to create pressure and help out your other lanes. Roaming is especially useful because it is like having a second jungler around. Ganking is one of the most effective ways to change the flow of a lane, and being able to turn around one of your other lanes is a great way to impact the game in your favor. Roaming can be used to get you more gold from roam kills to help win your own lane even more. It can be used to pull your enemy out of lane and deny him gold and experience, or it can be used to help snowball your other lanes even harder. The first step to a successful roam is to set up your lane. Now to roam, you have to be out of your lane for a good minute or so by doing this, you're always risking losing gold from minions. But there is a way to reduce this loss, and that's by setting up your lane. You simply push your wave as fast as you can into the enemy tower, and as soon as you're out of the enemy's vision, start your roam. This will cause the enemy to either have to choose between losing minion gold himself and experience by following you, or letting you roam. By shoving the minions into the tower, know that it'll take about 45 seconds to a minute for the enemy to get his minion wave to your tower, which is when you start losing gold, so the clock starts now. Step 2 is moving across the map effectively and avoiding wards. Now I've highlighted some of the most common ward spots for blue and red side, so you can use this as a reference of areas to avoid when roaming between lanes. Avoid these spots at all costs. You want to think like a jungler from this stage. You want to avoid wards and get between lanes as fast as possible. Now step 3 is executing the gank, and yes, it is a gank. So just like a jungler, you want to try and position yourself between the enemy and their tower, and try to land any CC you have on them and allow your other laner or laners a chance to capitalize on the fight. Unlike the jungler, you'll be forced while roaming to go from behind the enemy and gank aggressively. You simply don't have the time to waste setting up a good lane gank because the clock is ticking since you left your lane. To learn when to roam, you need to learn to read the map. Now to do this, you need to take notice of where the enemy jungler might be, where your jungler is, and how pushed the lane you wish to roam is. Now if you think the jungler is at his red, there is little point roaming top because it is too dangerous and could easily turn into a 2v2. But if he's on the other side of his map at blue, then it might be a great idea. Something else to look for is how pushed the lane you intend to roam to is, and what summoners they have. If they have no escapes, you probably have a good chance of picking up some good kills, so try to roam as soon as possible. Lastly, you want to check where your jungler is. You can often coordinate with your jungler, so as he ganks a lane, you gank another lane when the laners don't expect to be ganked. You can also choose to gank the same lane as your jungler and collect another objective after that. So once you've analyzed the map and decided it's a good time to roam, you need to leave in a time that works well for you. Now this means when your minions are shoved right up to the enemy tower or your enemy laner has gone back. Now it's also important at this moment not to walk out of lane in vision of your enemy. It's better to walk back and around than let him know which direction you're going. Because if you disappear and he doesn't know where you've gone, he has to warn all the lanes. So you're creating pressure in both the other lanes by just not being on the map. The bush hopper is a great trick you can use where you constantly leave the lane and between waves you just walk out into a bush, go out of vision. This will make your enemy constantly worry about where you're going. And after a few minutes, even when you're missing, he'll stop calling MIA. Now this means you get free roams. After your first successful roam using this method, it also means that every time you walk in a lane from now, he'll call MIA and you'll be creating pressure on 2 different lanes to become passive, which can help a lot. When roaming, you also don't always have to roam to another lane. If you think you know where the jungler is going to be and you are particularly strong, you can always roam into the enemy jungle, and they very rarely expect this and can put them off quite a lot. The good thing about jungle ganks is that even if you don't kill the jungler, just by putting them off a camp or pushing them away and denying them experience, or even taking that camp, you are putting them behind. The fake roam is also a really strong tactic to use to kill a very passive lane enemy. You can pretend to roam to another lane, be very obvious about it, let them see you leave, but stop on your way down. Then if your laner tries to follow you to help the lane you're about to gank, as he should, you will have him in close proximity and sometimes get a free kill off it.
So that's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something. Please leave all your suggestions and comments down below, I'll check them out. Until next week, Scurbs out.
Welcome friends to Shopping with Braum, where I show you how we use items